You need a modern PC. Times change, life gets busy, and a modern PC has the juice to keep up. With up to 200% faster performance, it's ready when you are, with almost instant power up and resume. And all-day battery life gives you freedom to roam. Get inspired with touch. There's no limits with an Intel-powered modern PC. And it looks as good as it performs. It's the way we live, only better. Modern PC at Harvey Norman. Thinner, lighter, faster. Get yours now.
Welcome to the place where the sea is blue, the sand is gold, there ain't any clouds to cover the sky, where the birds fly up and down. Oh, there's a lot to like about this town.
Come to life on the Sunshine Coast. Visit sunshinecoast.com.
Yes, we're back here now with the jubilant scenes here at Sunshine Coast Stadium, brought to you by the naturally refreshing Sunshine Coast partners, Sunshine Coast Council, BLK and Harvey Norman. Thank you to our great partners of touch football here in Australia. It's a fantastic scene here at the stadium. The Australian Women's Open doing what they do very, very well, and that's close out a tight series. And it's becoming very much the winning habit for this team that's only dropped a few games in 30 years, which is quite a remarkable feat in Australian sporting folklore as it is for touch football. Backstory, Steve Roberts is back joining us now for the Men's Open encounter. Whilst Australia now have secured the Women's Open and the Mixed Open, this series well and truly alive with the Men's Open. 1-0 now to Australia, but can you see the Kiwis fighting back to square the series?
Oh, I think they'll definitely give it a good show, but I think the Aussies will be too good again. I think that they showed that they had all the class last night, even though it was pretty close. For the majority of the match, they sort of ran away with it in the end, but I think that class will come through again today. But as we had mentioned before, there's a lot of debutants in the New Zealand team, a lot of young emerging players, and I know that they're building, and they would have gone away from last night and done a bit of the homework from the video, but as will have Australia with Tony, Trad, Paul, Sphere, and my good friend Phil Guymore, who I've forgotten his name for a minute there. Sorry, Phil, but they would have done their homework too, so I think they'll come through.
Certainly, Phil Guymore, very, very successful coach in his own right with the successful Queensland Cowboys outfit that have won the Elite Eight championship at Coffs Harbour for the last 2 years straight. It's a hell of a team that we're about to see here, but indeed the New Zealand men's side, you've got to give them credit, and certainly their skill and their application across the park will be a test for Australia tonight, you would see, and you can see the spirit of the Australian camp here, forming the huddle for their colleagues, the men's. It's a great spirit in the camp. They're now 5 games up in the 9-game series across the 3 divisions and across 3 days. The Australian Men's Open team will be looking to acquit themselves well tonight, Steve.
Yeah, they certainly will, and as you said, you can see the girls lining up there to cheer them on. It certainly is as they have their hashtag, the one team, one dream, and that's certainly the approach that they have going into tournaments.
Big shout out today, in fact, to our touch historian and author Kerry Thompson and his wonderful work on the Thompson Almanac and the Trans-Tasman series. It's quite a treasure trove of information, data and facts and stats on the 32-year history of the Trans-Tasman, and it's building its own great heritage and storylines through the very first test that was played in New Zealand in 1985 through to today, 2017. Thank you, Kerry, for all your great work, and be sure to visit the www.touchfootball.com.au website under publications for the Thompson Almanac for all the information, every single try, every single stat you could imagine for this wonderful series captured in this Thompson Almanac publication. And by all means, have a little visit to the event program here that shows all the news, views and previews of the event here. And I think, Steve, it certainly augurs well here for the Australians. If Australia can actually close out this match and go to Saturday night 6-0 up, it'll be very, very tough for the Kiwis to make amends tomorrow, you would think, but a lot to play for, though, nonetheless.
Yeah, definitely. We've seen the mixed and the women's clinch the series in the 2-0, but, you know, if the men's are lucky enough to do that as well, all teams will be looking to go 3-0 in the series and make it a 9-0 victory across all three teams. So whilst the job is almost done, it hasn't finished yet. So they'll go, they can relax a little bit, but they'll certainly come out tomorrow still firing and wanting to get that whitewash.
It must be an equal part relief in one sense, knowing that the series is now decided and the pressure's off to an extent. But as you can imagine, as Aussies as well as Kiwis, when you're competing, you can just imagine the pressure that's now back on the Aussie men's to have a clean sheet. That would be pretty telling. Yeah,
definitely. They'll be looking at, you know, I don't think they'll be thinking too much that the series is sewn up for Australia. They'll be looking to you know, make sure that they do their job and win their series as the referees come out now.
Our referees tonight, David Baggio, the world #1 referee, in fact, and the world #1 previous to him on his left is Mia Williams from New Zealand, and Kim Skelly is there's your top 3 referees in the sport of touch football as we speak.
All in sync as they run out there. They had little dance as they came out.
Quite a picture, wasn't it? And they'll have a little chat, little conference pre-game as they do. But wonderful to see them here and performing at their best too, under the eyes and guidance of Ian Matthew and the coaching panel, the FIT, Federation of International Touch coaching panel, as New Zealand make their way out. It's a strong outfit, Steve. You know them only too well. Since that magic night back in May 2 years ago to today, they're still pretty strong, the Touch Blacks.
Yeah, definitely. Led out by Mida Graham there. He's a class player, not only a class player on the field, but he's a gentleman off the field too. And I've had the privilege and the pleasure to play against him and you know, strike up a friendship with him as well. He's a quality person, a quality player, and the Touch Blacks are a quality outfit.
Well, it's a 75% winning margin, and Trans-Tasman says Nick Good brings the Australians out onto the field. Pretty impressive when you think that they've played New Zealand 37 times now for 28 wins. You've been a key part of those over time, Steve. It's a pretty special side, this one. A good mix of the old and the new and the change and transitions, the farewells and renewals. It's actually quite a good balanced team, you'd have to say. How do you feel exactly sitting here in the commentary box? I bet you wish you were out there.
Of course I do, but no, I enjoyed my time, but it was time to hang up the boots, as much as I'd love to still be out there. But if you look at the huddle, you got Stewie on screen just there. He's, you know, across the park, they're just, as you said, well balanced. You know, they got strike power coming from everywhere, but then you've got the defensive structures as well. Everyone sort of, you know, comes in to fit the pieces of the puzzle, and it's a wonderful picture when everything flows together.
Well, certainly Cormac Hock and Cody Green from the all-conquering Cowboys men's team in the Elite Eight this year make their debut after many years of quality performances at the Elite Eight, and congratulations to them in stepping up to the big stage. And to a shout out to Kieran Toner and Dean Springfield too, as we talk about this contingent and the pathway, the very, very, very strong pathway in the Australian high performance program. To see Dean Springfield and Kieran emerge from the mixed team into the men's, it's wonderful to see.
Yeah, we spoke about it before. It's a bit of a stepping stone in the mix, but they all, the whole Aussie contingent work together to make sure it works well as the Aussies start off with the attack.
Certainly a nice little NRL connection too, with Jordan Marshall-King, brother of Benji in the Aussie side, along with Ben Moylan, brother of Matt. And there he was there at dummy half. Ben hands off to his Penrith teammate, Scott Buckley, another Penrith boy. Hands it off to that Gold Coast boy again, and the man of the moment, Pete Norman. What a great start for Australia.
Very simple start there, yeah. Sweeper, Goody takes off short side and pops an easy ball into Pete Norman, who strolls over to make it 1-0 on the first set of 6.
What a mighty impressive start, and obviously New Zealand will like to atone for that and strike back quickly, as they're known to do. Mida Graham gets them underway, and they start to move the ball. Captain Graham now picking up on...
Aussie's equal to the task there. It's good defence there by George.
Pamatato.
On the wing there.
Pamatato now looking for Graham. They're just trying to isolate this middle defender. The links up and defending hard. Mida Graham, long ball wide to Michael Kavanagh, who wouldn't have been able to do much with that.
No, wasn't his finest pass, but he is great with the ball. Mida, he holds it up in 2 hands. It's a good lesson for the young players to hold the ball out in front. And it seems like he's got plenty of time, but wasn't his finest pass.
Great place to defend from and force an error like that. Unfortunately, Scott Buckley would like that time again. Mia Williams now finding the bobble in that play the ball. And it was a very, very good field position for New Zealand earlier to force the error on the Aussies and putting them back on their heels. Mita Graham again. Getting the ball inside there. I think it's Shannon Tomori. Into Graham again. Great long ball left to right. Hits the winger, puts it down straight, but it's a little marginal.
They got a forward pass there, yeah. Forwards definitely have their hands. But looked promising for New Zealand just there. Caught Georgie out wide coming in, and if the pass had been backwards, then would have been 1-1. But it doesn't matter now as Australia come away with the rucking play with Cody Green making his debut, as you said, and does well there.
Certainly not to discredit at all the performances of the mixed and the women's, but the pace of this game in the men's open really takes it up another notch as they look to go left to right. Short ball there to Cody Green was a great ball, a fantastic ball. In fact, Cody Green stuck in there nicely.
Did well to finish off there. His opening set of 6, his debut, and he scored a try. He's done very well, and he's got a bit of a cheer squad up here, and they've gone up and certainly, gave him a roar when he got the try.
Bit hard to distinguish the players as the night and the lights come on and the white hats on, but I think it was Daniel Barton that pushed the pass to him nicely. And it's Mita Graham now. They've got to hit back now, New Zealand. They won't have liked that start at all. Graham again. He's off to Ash Robertson. Into Morris Stone.
Ash Robinson snuck underneath there.
Fantastic try out wide.
Caught Jordan napping a little bit and just dived under between Jordan and Sean Francis. So
what did you see just unfolded there, Steve?
I thought the defence was actually quite solid and, they're holding them out well, but then just, as I said, caught them napping to the short side and dived underneath it. Questionable whether the ball was down, but the Badgers called play on and it's now 2-1.
Jordan Marshall-King to Ben Moylan now, looking for good. It's Daniel Barton sweeping back, hard left to right.
Yeah, had Pete Norman on the sweep again there. He's got plenty of pace, Pete, so puts the defence under a lot of pressure as he flicks the ball there. And goes to ground, and New Zealand hold out the Aussies there and come drive it up the field to see if they can level the score.
Well, certainly got some running in those legs. The pace has amplified in these last couple of minutes. They're starting to feel that with that early try out wide, give them a bit of confidence, and certainly the running hit. Mita Graham in everything right now, seemingly. Sweeping play there with Shannon Tomori. Ball goes to ground, and again, good field position for the Kiwis to hold the Aussies back.
Yeah, it was a good set by the Kiwis, and Australia defended it well, and they come away, and Jordan driving up there. Nick Good, the general, orchestrates everything out on the field. He's got such a great brain, football brain, sort of can think 4 plays ahead.
Yeah, indeed. And there's Scott Buckley. Seems to be hampered by a little bit of a left calf injury. Is it? We know if it's very sinister at all or otherwise, Steve?
Yeah, he seems to be favouring a little bit. I haven't spoken too much about it to him, but as you look at him run there, he's a bit tender on it.
It's not the sharp Scott Buckley we've come to know, but he's doing very, very well. Scored a couple of tries last night too, which was quality performance. Mita Graham again here. Ryan Rogers in now to Carlos Savage.
Well, they've caught Jack out again.
And Carlos Savage.
Daniel Barton's done well to cover there.
Well, they retreated well, but Baggio and Kim Skelly just hadn't got back in time. But certainly a lot of pressure being applied from the Kiwis.
Yeah, the Kiwis are attacking well. As you see Jack come up and make touches, they're keeping him honest by attacking that short side when he does that.
Ash Robinson. It's a great touch. Got down low and hard, but it was a very, very good touch. I think it was Toner in the end, was it?
It's great work by Ash Robinson then. But again, as you said, great touch by Daniel Barton. Scott Bundy and the long ball out. Matt Prowse coming across, but can't get there.
That's clear. This time, Michael Kavanagh gets one in the hands and gratefully received. Locks the score up here now, 2-2 at Sunshine Coast Stadium. Fantastic strike back.
Yeah, that was a fantastic pass. You don't often catch Matt Prowse out of position, and I think the pass just actually just beat him there, and he turned and chased but couldn't get there. It was a good finish.
Well, with 2 apiece. Jonathan Palau, Cody Green to take it upfield now, and it's Stewie Brighty. Jordan Marshall-King, wide sweeper. Good shutdown, though, there from Maurice Stone.
He certainly saved a try there. It looked sharp there, Jordan Marshall. He swept through. Great dump by Stewie driving into the line.
Turner and Jordan Marshall-King here. Just looking to bring that defence out, and there it seems to be. With Willison out of the line, but Toner can't quite get through. It's good defence from New Zealand.
Fantastic defence there by Ricky Wilson there. He forced the pressure, made the boys go right back to the 10, 15 metre line so that they weren't under pressure at all.
Joshua Duff upfield again, getting in good field position. Only 20 metres out. Meter Graham picks up Sean Law. Graham again. Beautiful long ball. Michael Kavanagh looks to grab and tuck it under the wing seemingly and just skirt around, but just couldn't grab it in the first instance. Kieran Toner now hits Stewie Brighty as they get off their line.
Yeah, once bitten, twice shy there. Well done by Matt Prowse as they throw the long ball and equal to the task there.
Toner and Moylan and Brighty. Not a bad combo.
It's great work by Stewie. He's the meter reader. You go to him when you want to get the ball up the end of the park, and his talk as well up and down the park is phenomenal. When you're a defender next to him, you know exactly what you're doing, what he's doing, what everyone's doing, because he can talk underwater with a mouthful of marbles. He's fantastic.
As we well know. Well, it was a very sharp first 5 minutes from Australia, but seemingly a little indifferent in these last 5, as we're now at the halfway mark of the first half, and it's now Pamatato. Again, they're leaving the ball in good space there in terms of their defence. Scott Buckley at half. He picks up good again, and to Pete Norman.
As they walk away to the sub box, good work by Ranger there.
It's good defence though. They're really pushing them off balance at least. Not so much the mark, but just a little bit off balance. Can't actually give the Aussies much ascendancy right now.
Yeah, it hasn't been their greatest drive, but they'll drive into the line now. I think Pete Norman will probably take off here.
Cormac Hock hovering out wide here in the link. Pete Norman just can't quite sneak through. Tried to pull Nick Good back, perhaps from right to his left side, but it wasn't there. And New Zealand again. This is a real cat and mouse affair.
Yeah, they got a penalty for throwing the ball the way there. They actually made good field position on the back of a bad set in the end, but then throwing the ball away gives New Zealand the easy meters. And as you said before, they've been struggling to get to the other end of the field.
Captain Steve Roberts right now would say in the sub box.
Good question.
Hasn't been that long ago.
No, it hasn't. It hasn't. Just stick to the structures. Everything will be all right.
Well, the defence is holding up very tight and well there. Daniel Barton.
They need to get a bit more punch in their drive. I think you've seen with the sweepers with Pete Norman and Jordan Marshall on the back of a good drive with the sweep puts the New Zealand under a lot of pressure. Good work by Cody Green here, and Sean's quite quick down the flank there.
The old Cowboys connection working well there. Picked up an easy 20 metres that weren't. There's Scotty Bundy. He will be dangerous tonight, you would think. Cody Green really stepping up here. Oh, just Benny Moylan. Cops one a little high through Tomori. And it's Matt Prowse. We'll just shake it to the sideline to put them in good defensive field position. And
Yeah, it brings it closer to the Australian box, so the New Zealand have to work all the way back over to their box to get a sub. So smart play there at the end.
New Zealand now, Joshua Duff. Again, Kavanagh did very, very well there to roll that ball away from the roll ball. Carlos Savage, not played at, would be the call from Kim Skelly. And it is a penalty to Australia. Matt Prowse will take it away, and that's not a bad field position for them. Really need to probably up the ante here, Steve, you would say, to just get some ascendancy back.
Yeah, definitely. Got the right man on to do that with Stewie coming forward.
He is something of a meter eater, isn't he? The Alliance product.
Jordan Marshall sweeping.
Off that big right foot. Oh, dear, oh dear, what a great ball. It seemed to be a fake 35-metre pass right to left. It only needed 2 to pick up Kieran Toner.
Yeah, we said it before with Mita, just holding the ball out in front. Jordan there, fake the throw long, and then Kieran just running that nice little hole, short hole, I should say, and crosses over for a simple try.
3-2, just the result closing into half-time.
We saw again with that sweep, really putting New Zealand under pressure. Really requires a good hard settle, as we see Jack come up and put the pressure on.
Ash Robinson making his way with Ryan Rogers now. Ash Robinson again. Mita Graham looking for Robinson to just sweep around, isolate this defender, but Stewie Bride is one of the best. Robinson, good long ball. Out wide to Lolacello. And Pamatato leaves it there in good position for, again, Australia to make their way.
Australia there, I thought.
Yep.
I think they would have been spoken to on the sideline by the defensive coach, Paul Sphere. On the directive of Tony Trad, he would have been making sure that there's no gaps.
What a coaching combination they are. Sphere, Trad and Guymore. Another law firm. Oh, it's a heavy defence there. And Scotty Bundy off balance. Takes dive. New Zealand, again, this cat and mouse affair plays out. Australia just edging out 3-2 up at the moment. Joshua Duff inside now to Kaki. Tomori from half again, but it's good defence from Good.
I think Goody was a bit lucky there. I think he could have been offside. Scott Bundy got caught way out of position. It was a good dump, and luckily for Nick Good, he was told by David Badjo he was onside, but questionable.
Well, it's just north-south, isn't it, from both sides here. Ben Moylan, a beautiful run there. Daniel Barton down for Cody Green. Daniel Barton again. Here goes Ben Moylan in hard here on that outside middle defender. Daniel Barton with that trademark ball. Sean Francis, thank you very much, Bardo, he would say. What a beautiful ball.
That's a fantastic pill by Daniel Barton there. Just threw it right to the spot where Shawnee Francis then just swallowed it and finished it off. So great work. And again, you need someone to put it on the spot, and I think it was Ben Moylan who just sort of set it up. Nice clean dump for him, going into the line. But Daniel Barton took care of the rest.
So with 4-2 now, and Dylan Hennessy with that knee complaint just on the eve of the tournament, Steve. What sort of impact has that had on the team? Obviously, they've performed very, very well there, but everyone seemingly stepping up in his absence.
Yeah, definitely. I think it just opens the opportunity for other players like your Jordan Marshall, your Cody Greens. Dean Sprinkler is not playing this game, but gives them an opportunity to show what they have. I mean, as we go on the attack again.
Pete Norman, beautiful ball. If he takes that, Sean Francis on the opposite side this time, but it was a pretty good ball in the end. He only just needed some fingertip control, and it would have got Australia out to 5.
Could have gone to 5, yeah. I mean, Dylan Hennessy, obviously, arguably the best player in the world. He's wanted in every team, but the boys seem to be going along well without him. And as I said, Jordan Marshall. You look across the park: Jordan Marshall, Sam Brisby, Kieran Toner, Cody Green, Daniel Barton. We just saw them. I mean, they've got strike power everywhere, and that's what we talked about at the beginning of the game with the balance. But I know Coach Trudd really emphasises, firstly, the defence. And you can see that, you know, only letting in 2 tries in the first half, if they can hold them out for the next 4.5 minutes.
Yep.
Tradie will be happy.
Pamatato takes on Scotty Buckley out wide, but he's equal to the task in a diving, despairing save. Pamatato again in. Oh, looks like it was passed after, according to Maya Williams, the referee. Scotty Buckley taking his time to get to that ball.
He really is favouring that leg, isn't he? And the Kiwis are putting him under pressure. They keep attacking down his side of the field. He's doing his job well, though.
Not that same spring in the step we know from Jacko Buckley, as his teammates through Matty Prowse, the prolific try-scoring Matty Prowse. Stu Bridie, what a fantastic.
Ooh.
Didn't play it square.
Yeah, the good work undone there. I think he actually got knocked out of his hands, but you can just see how he drives into the line for a very unselfish player.
The Kiwis come back too. Ash Robinson, great run there. Carlos Savage, Mitta Graham. Mitta Graham again.
Big set of 6 here for New Zealand.
Look to just try to isolate Cody Green out wide, but it's not quite there. That ball looked... Michael Kavanagh claps his hands in some sort of despair at not being able to clasp that pass. So Matt Prowse now, Jordan Marshall-King and Toner. Stu Bryant here. It's good shape trying to get off their line. Cody Green, it's 2 touches up to halfway. It's pretty good play.
Yeah, they've done well to get it back up the other end. But again, Australian defence under a bit of pressure there. Could have hit the link or the winger. Cody Green takes it off.
Kieran Toner didn't probably need to pass that because he...
No, just looking down at Tony Trott on the sideline, he wasn't happy with that flick pass there.
Maybe not so much a coach killer, but a coach upsetter, nonetheless.
Yes, exactly.
Here come the Kiwis again. They're driving forward very well, and they'll be very happy to receive that penalty in prime position as Dave Baggio sets the mark some 30 metres out. Here come the Kiwis. With 2 to play, you would surely like to think that they would like to draw 1 closer.
Yeah, certainly a good opportunity to do that here.
As Robinson.
Player looking the most dangerous, so his Mitta is not on the field at the moment.
Stone. Robinson again.
Oh.
Pamatato. Now that was some very, very clever play to New Zealand. And we talked about it before. That's exactly the response they wanted. Draws it back to 1, 4-3 Australia over New Zealand.
Yeah, they've that middle dump, they call it the ML or whatever you would like to call it, wrap around, and Jonathan Palau puts his hand straight up. He should have been shutting down there. If they're going to score, you want them to score out wide, and that was too easy again. Trady won't be happy.
That Penrith connection in here close now. Moylan and Good. With Pete Norman now with the hat off. That could spell some trouble for New Zealand, seemingly. Looks to shape. Again, Nick Good. That's too much pressure in there. Great pressure from New Zealand's defence on the same token.
Yeah, they've done very well.
Heavy
Setting
traffic.
up the fake to go to Jack and then giving it to Pete in the quickie situation.
Nick Good down for Ben Moylan. Back to Good. Shapes to go. That is a very clever play from the captain. You even, in your previous post, would have been proud of that one, Steve.
Yeah, no, he's done very well to go up.
Show and go from the little fella.
Oh, 5-3 just before half time. I don't know if New Zealand will have enough time. Oh, 30 seconds, they might get one more crack at the line.
Gee. Didn't that come at the right time for the Aussies? Coach Trad would be very, very happy with that. It's New Zealand now through their captain, Graham. Royeki, Willison, and Graham.
It's not moving forward there, Australia, so Maya Williams plays the penalty.
They're causing some headaches for this Aussie defence.
They need to dump the ball quickly.
Hock makes his way back. With Toner, it's pretty good shutout there in the end with Scotty Bundy there, I'm afraid. It was indeed Scotty Bundy. That's the halftime junction, and here we are at Australia. Looking favourites, you would have to say at this point, Steve, to potentially take out this six game and 3 division series.
Yeah, certainly looking a better team. It's just the coach killers. You mentioned his coach upset us. That was a coach killer just before half time. A simple try where Nick Good fakes long, steps back to the short side.
Yep.
At this level, shouldn't be letting tries in like that, especially when they've defended quite well, I suppose, New Zealand, with the amount of attack that Australia have had. Just to go 5-3 up at half time.
Yeah, well, you've been in these huddles quite a few times. As we look at the New Zealand one, there'll be some soul searching and certainly some confidence, though, you'd have to say, and they're drawing some strength, no doubt, as to their quick replies and their responses, and putting Australia under all manner of pressure on their line. But give us a little insight, if you could, Steve, just where the Kiwis' heads are right now and what they're thinking and saying, and then where's the Aussies in reply?
Well, I think they'll be feeling a little bit more confident than yesterday. They've left two out there. There's two tries that have gone begging from New Zealand, and then again, like I mentioned before, just that simple try that gets let in. If they cut out those simple errors, it's a totally different ball game. So I think they would be sort of happy that their structures are working. They just need to put the polish on it.
Yep, indeed. The game certainly well poised, and we'll be shortly going to a break with our performance apparel partners, BLK Sport Australia. And as we head back from our commercial break, we'll look forward to seeing you back here for the second half and the last game here and the night here. Game 2, day 2 of the 2017 Trans-Tasman Series. Great partners, indeed, 10-year partners of Touch Football Australia, BLK Sport. Wonderful to see them here and certainly adorning the tops of our green and gold contingent this year, as they have done for the last 10. And with all of our partners here, Harvey Norman, Sunshine Coast Council, thank you for your great support of our sport. And again, you can catch all this action from the 2017 Trans-Tasman on the Touch Football Australia Facebook page and certainly at www.touchfootball.com.au. But join us in the conversation on Twitter at the @TouchFootyOz handle. Give us a little tingle and we'll certainly, if we think your tweet's good enough, it'll certainly appear on screen and we'll have that chat indeed. Steve, Tony Trad's laying down the law seemingly here. His co-coach is taking a little back step. But this is Tony at his best, isn't it? He's the master coach. He's seen this situation plenty of times before. We can't lip read right now. What is he saying?
No, you can see how intently the boys are listening. You notice just before they get into a huddle, the actual three coaches meet, and they all talk about what they're seeing. So then Trady can go in and get more specific with the boys. But I don't think he'll be overly disappointed. I think the attacks when they're sending those sweepers looking very dangerous, I think he would be just questioning those lapses in defence. So I think he'd just be reminding the boys to make sure that they're getting good pre-touch, that they're ready. They've got the good shape as New Zealand come into the line. So they have a good chance at the tap-off here now, New Zealand. And Trady will remind them of the play that they scored last night with where they fake long and hit the winger short. So
it's a good insight, Steve, as it is always coming straight out of the Australian men's program, and very successful one at that.
I'm glad you appreciate it. Juliana's got a text off my brother saying I'm putting him to sleep, so I need to liven this up a little bit.
Well, you're not putting me to sleep. In fact, this is going to be eyes wide open in this second half now, as New Zealand, with the curious stance of two at the ball. One can only tap it off, and here they go. In sync, as it were. Ash Robinson. Marissa Stone. Robinson again down for his captain. Just go and play it down in here, would you, on Pete Norman, thanks. He says, to no avail.
Just notice those touches by Pete, nice and firm, just to sort of knock the player off balance. Jax has got come out of the line. As I said, first half, Minta just holds that ball up, and then you had that Maurice Stone come through and score a try there. And the Kiwis are back, 5-4.
That's a fantastic strike there from New Zealand, and that's the coach killer we talk about.
Yeah, as I said, Truddy would have been talking about shape and where they needed to be, and then they let that try in. So,
well, Maurice Stone, that's a fantastic reply. The perfect way to start this second half is Jonathan Palau makes his way out with Cody Green. Tails up, you would think, for the Kiwis here.
Yeah,
the Touch Blacks will love that.
You'll see Jordan on a sweep here, I think.
Pete Norman with Barton. Pete Norman, might be some dew on that ball. Those balls aren't going to hand, and they're going to ground, and Pete Norman asked for a little bit of calm from his troops there.
Yeah, only a minute and a half in. There's plenty of time, and I think if they just hold their composure, Australia will still be too good, but to New Zealand's credit, they're sticking at it, as they're struggling to get out of their own half now, though.
This is where you would see the Aussies come streaming in here and try to force them this side of halfway. It's been a fantastic defensive set so far, Steve.
Yeah, Pete had to make up for that tap on that he tried to do there, so he wasn't too happy with it. A little questionable, that pass.
Pamatato finds his mark, Mida Graham. Matt Prowse asked for the ball on that far flank with Jordan Marshall-King making his way into the interchange box. Pete Norman off, and Cody Green and Daniel Barton take it forward. Sean Francis comes in for some action off the wing, as does Ben Moylan in the middle. Scotty Bundy. Bryantey to Green, back to Bryantey. Needs a half, and there he is, Cody Green. It's a little too late.
Yeah, trying to set up for the 4-on-3 for Cody Green there. Again, Stewie just doing his unselfish play, but wasn't really much going on there. New Zealand defended well.
Didn't quite find the half as he would have liked, but anyway, here comes New Zealand. They make their way through a Stone onto...
This is a better rucking set from New Zealand.
Ryan Rogers. And again, back to Ash Robinson. They're in a lot of this play. Cody Green, nice little intercept and nullified that.
Plucked that out of the air, didn't he?
He did indeed, Bundy now. And here comes Bridie again doing what he does best. Pushing it forward, and Toner now and Buckley.
Oh.
Lucky call in a lot of respects. Scotty Buckley probably didn't quite have the ball to hand, but Dave Baggio sees an indiscretion.
Yeah, I certainly think they were lucky to get away with that. And now Australia got a whole set with Nick Good, Ben Moylan, Kieran Toner and Jack all out there. Shawnee Francis and Matty Prowse ready to finish it off.
And the Penrith connection here of Good and Moylan with Buckley.
Nick Good probably could have gone through himself there. Baggio's caught a forward pass anyway.
Yeah, a show and go and through, you would have thought. But anyway, New Zealand deny Australia once again. Well and truly in this game, and what a game we're seeing here. 16 out to full time. This is well poised for New Zealand. You would think Australia now has to really dig deep.
Well, Australia have had a few cracks at the line and haven't been able to score. And New Zealand coming down for the first time. But again...
Stone again. Beautiful ball inside. That's covered. This is beautiful play.
Yeah, that's a late pass.
It looked late.
So have a look.
The referee did not think it was indeed.
Well, the New Zealand crowd wanted it a try, and it would have been a good try. But definitely a late pass there. And they
definitely a savage call, Carlos would say.
See what you've done there, Julian.
Benny Moylan now. With Toner and Buckley. Francis and Toner again. There's some desperation in getting some yards here. Barton. But it's good equally. Very, very good defence.
See Pete Norman take off here.
Here he goes. It's impressive speed off the mark, isn't it? But,
yeah, normal, but again, flick the ball on and New Zealand get the intercept.
Savage took it well, and New Zealand have done very well. It's a mixed bunch over there. Could throw a blanket over all the players there, and Skelly and Baggio have a conference to say.
I think they're claiming there's been pushing in the ruck. Jonathan Palau.
This could be something of an issue for Jonathan Palau.
Georgie pleading his case there.
What did you see back there?
I don't know, there was a whole lot of discussion for nothing, to be honest there. Let's get on with the game, boys.
And so they do. Michael Kavanagh gets us underway. Nice little cup of tea there.
Yeah.
The players, Ash Robinson, back to Graham. Here comes Robinson and Graham. Pete Norman
Solid touch there.
affects the touch, and that is
Too easy.
from half. And again, this little cat and mouse plays out.
On the Aussies, they need a good solid set driving up the field. They seem to have lost their punch.
Cormac Hock might suggest otherwise, though. He wants to get him forward. Sean Francis does the pirouette. Jordan Marshall-King and Scotty Bundy. Does he come into his own now? Jordan Marshall-King. Beautiful ball to Brighty and great shutdown. It will give Australia back the ball with 6 more touches in
Great pass
hand.
by Geordie there.
It's a beautiful ball, wasn't it?
He did well, the New Zealand winger, to shut that down. Is it Eldon?
Just needed to release a little earlier, Brighty, you would think. But anyway, he gets another chance with Bundy. Trying to sneak through, but nothing. 11 and 12 together here.
Great on the quickie there, Bundy. Play straight Bundy, as they call him. So Stewie comes and does his bit for Cody Green.
Cody Green.
Oh, there it is.
Stewie
That's
Brighty.
too easy again. Short side. Well done, Stewie.
And isn't that just the reward for some hard work for this fella from WA, Stuart Brighty? A fantastic reply, and in fact your club team, it's fair to say, with the Canterbury Bulldogs. Is that right, Steve?
Yeah, he's a fantastic man, Stewie. He came, good story actually, moved over from Western Australia to New South Wales to pursue his touch career, and you look at him now, he's reached all his goals, ticked every box, so he's had a great career as an Australian player, and a deserved for a good man.
Yep, indeed. Key player in the Alliance program. Ryan Rogers now with Willison. Mita Graham. Nice switch back left to right. Beautiful ball, but Mia Williams has seen something. And Dave Baggio.
They're questioning whether Goody got him, but
It'll be the 5 and last to play again. This is a fairly pivotal play right now.
it was a great touch in the end by Nick Good, but the New Zealand weren't happy that they caught it, but not in Nick Good's game, and it was a good touch.
Well, Ryan Rogers just places that out wide, but time is probably the enemy of New Zealand, even though there is a bit to play. Australia really has to skip ahead here. Toner from half, picked up pretty easily though.
Yeah, it's a good touch there, but it's a better drive into the line. When Australia looks so much better when they're actually going forward straight at the line rather than holding it up. And I think that's what they're lacking in this second half. You know,
Can New Zealand get ahead here, I guess is the question. Steve,
they've had plenty
draw
of
a couple
chances
back?
and haven't cracked the Australian line. I don't think they can. I don't think they have 3 tries in them to go ahead.
Well, that's the equation for New Zealand right now. Kaki down again for Ash Graham. It's a beautiful ball in traffic. Olosello did very, very well to handle that. Matt Prowse acquitted himself well again. Dr. Prowse, indeed.
The doctor, hands like a surgeon, as they say.
Well, he is a surgeon. He has
He
to have
is.
hands like a surgeon.
Anesthetist.
Anesthetist. Say that 3 times quickly,
Yeah,
Steve.
yeah. My brother said I'm putting him to sleep. He literally does put people to sleep.
Well, there you go. Occupational hazard. And Australia, in the scheme of that little bit of banter, has really just come up with nothing to halfway. They won't be impressed with giving the New Zealanders this such quality field position for such a quality, high-quality team. Mita Graham moving them forward through Tomori. To Graham again. Something. Pamatato.
Trying to do that on the wrong man. Great defender, Daniel Barton.
Here he is again, Mita Graham. Skips up from the right foot, but it's just not quite there, the play.
No, it's the right play to be doing, though, against Australia. And that put Australia under pressure in the first half, but Matty Prowse too good there.
Yeah, the defence held up very, very well here. Geordie Marshall-King won a clean roll ball here. Sean Francis.
Boys are getting pretty physical out there, getting passionate. I like it.
That's fantastic result for Jordan Marshall-King there. He wasn't probably in the best body position for that roll ball, but he did get the just reward with a bit of a fumble, and a tough defence. Maybe perhaps a tough call for New Zealand though in hindsight.
Yeah, I think that's a bit part and parcel of the game now. I think you've got to let a few of those go, but as you said, Jordan a bit lucky there. So they come back against the grain. Great on his feet, Cody Green.
Isn't he what? Bridie's now really got a sniff here. Likes what he sees. Cody Green does too, and hits Palau with a magic ball left to right.
The referee's gonna
Cody
have a
Green,
conference.
there might be something amiss here. In fact, it is a touch.
The referee's called touch. They play it quickly. There's plenty of New Zealand's offside.
Pete Norman, another long ball to Palau would have been the one, but 3 on 3. Probably
He's
best
not
to
happy
walk
claiming
away.
that they're offside. And
Well, the officials have it handled, or managed rather, in the appropriate way now, and it's Kavanagh. It's very physical out here, Steve.
yeah,
As you
him
see,
getting that one going against the grain, that's going to hurt New Zealand. I think
peculiar set of play there. What exactly did we see here?
What's that, sorry?
Peculiar set of play. What exactly has happened here the last minute or two?
Just as they're driving out, they've gone for a hard touch, but
Well, Pete Norman wants to calm things down a little bit, just get some assuredness in this attack. And there's Pete Norman sweeping back beautifully. Oh, almost sneaks through, but it's a great touch out wide, though, from Kaki. The hat's back on for Pete Norman, not so Scott Buckley.
they did well. They were under a lot of pressure there. Pete Norman had them, but in fact, they almost dropped the ball. Lucky to get away with that too.
Oh, that's a great sweep play. Nick Good gets through, irrespective. Gets a 6 to go. Sean Francis almost got that, but they do get 6 back in reply.
He stands up when he needs to, Nick. You can see just before half-time getting that try, and now just holding the ball up, almost going through and setting up another try here.
There's some trademark plays of Nick Good here, isn't it? And there you go. Scott Bundy. Just a good late desperate tag there. Unlucky not to score that. Nick Good says hit it left. As Buckley comes in, switches back to Good. Back to his teammate from Penrith to the right. He comes left. Is that inside? It's well covered. Very well covered from Ash Graham, actually.
You see him setting up the same play, sending a sweep and then taking off short side, and the gap between the two middles really opens up.
Good and Buckley again. Trying for that hole, but it's just not there, is it?
No.
Good
Good
defence.
touch there by sort of Finch.
And that same man rolls away. Sean Law to Graham to Law. Kavanagh again. He's been busy out there on the wing, Kavanagh.
What do you think, Julian? Can they come back?
Well, it's 6 to play, 2 down. This is where they would really like to convert. Mitta Graham's been probing all night. That ball's gone down. They've got another 6 chances to do just that.
You can see the Australian link come right up in the passing channel, they call it, and you can see Mitty, he holds the ball up and he waits for the link, the whole runner, to go behind the defender, and that's where they've caught him out in the first try in the second half. So he's definitely the man to watch.
Mitta Graham, he held back, but held back just enough. Slipped through, not Mitta Graham. In fact, it was Ryan Rogers that crossed. Fantastic response, and that is exactly the response we were looking for from New Zealand, and they certainly delivered, Steve.
Well, gives New Zealand a sniff here, but a big set of 6 here for New Zealand. They hold them out, then they're every chance. But we can see the strike power on the field with Pete Norman and Geordie Marshall. I'd say one of them would be sweeping.
This is the only division now that can go to Sunday, and New Zealand are doing everything in their power to do that.
They certainly are, and so making a real contest as Pete comes around.
It's just not clean, is it, Steve? And it's more the point New Zealand's starchless in defence and just putting the Aussies off, seemingly.
Yeah, very lucky there. Kim changed his mind. He was going for the drop ball and then changed it to a penalty for Australia as Geordie tries to slip under, but gets touched. Good touch by the number 5 there, Sean Law.
Asking some questions of this defence.
Eddie Green to drive it in. Pete on the sweep.
You thought it was there somewhere.
I was holding
Just
my
didn't
breath.
shift it. Brighty now for Norman. What have we got here? Geordie Marshall-King could have offloaded, but he thought that he could sneak under. There's a question being asked about where he was touched, but he was.
Yeah, Maurice Stain coming up with a good touch there. Under a lot of pressure there, New Zealand. They've done well to hold him out.
Look at this step.
Oh, Stewie trying to sneak through there. Just need a little flick ball.
A little bit of that Benji Marsh or magic passed down to the younger brother there, but just New Zealand hold out Australia stoutly.
Jordan reckons he taught Benji everything he knows, taught the older brother.
Wouldn't you know, eh?
Australia getting penalised for rolling back into the line there, and rightly so.
Now, how well is this game placed now, Steve? What a fantastic finale. We've got 3 minutes on the clock. If New Zealand can draw level here with Mida Graham in everything seemingly here, that ball's just gone away, and dear, oh dear.
I didn't want to say it too early, but they had the right men on defending.
It's a damn good call from Captain Roberts. As Scott Buckley, he's having all manner of trouble out there with that calf, I think.
Yeah.
Stu Bridey, as he's done so well tonight, just Kieran Toner now. He's taken on the defence when it was there.
Australia under pressure. There's a few changes being made. Scotty coming off, as you said, that leg giving him a lot of trouble.
Sean Francis up nice and early in defence. That's put a bit of pressure inside. That's fantastic defence there.
He's done well there, Sean. Had to cover in. He's gone in at middle and held up the play while the others came on. Again, don't want to speak too early, but Daniel Barton, great defender. Kieran Toner's got a lot of pace, but they're going to have to do a lot of talking here.
There's a good ball, but Matt Prowse, as he so often does, chases out very well. Bit of pressure applied in there by Barton and co.
Yeah, I think the winger just arrived a bit too early. If it was out in front, Matty might have been in a bit of trouble.
Kieran Toner now. Here's some space for Australia just to...
Oh, I was just about to say this is a better set. Shifting the ball, getting the yards, but Shawnee Francis unfortunately dropping the ball and giving New Zealand another crack with 2 minutes to go. He's going to have a go.
What a fantastic finale we're looking at here. Under a minute to go. Australia just hanging on by the skin of their teeth, it would seem, to close out their division series here. Ash Robinson dives in close. Geez, had a good game, hasn't he?
Had a fantastic game. Had a very, very good game, and making the asking a lot of questions of the Aussies there, but they've done well. They've come out a long way.
Stone, Mitta Graham, that ball just wasn't there, was it really?
No.
Again, good pressure applied from winger Prowse.
Yeah, they've done well. As I said, Daniel Barton made that touch about 9 metres out and gave Matt Prowse a lot of time to see where the ball was at and make the right decision.
You got a minute on the clock, Captain. Where are we going from here?
Just put it up the other end. Put it in this corner. If not a penalty, then we'll get a try. And then you defend your life out.
Looks like that's exactly from the playbook of our
That should be a
erstwhile
penalty.
captain, and a pretty good set of 6, though, in the context of this match with Australia now.
Very unlucky not to get a penalty, I thought there.
They're going to have to go north to south pretty quickly here, Steve.
Yeah, still plenty of time. They'll need a penalty here in New Zealand if there any chance.
Australia.
There it is.
There it is. To lock up this match and take it to Sunday. New Zealand with a lot of ascendancy, it has to be said. Setting up here for Tomori.
Yeah, good work, Matty Prowse.
Well
Eyes
picked
up.
off.
Knew where his winger was.
There's now 17 on the clock. There's really 1 or 2 players left in this match. And for New Zealand, they'll be desperate, as will Australia's defence. Norman defends well. That ball is there.
Oh,
He's
Matt Prowse has missed
Matt
it.
Prowse has missed it. My goodness. What a performance from New Zealand.
On the buzzer.
On the buzzer. What a match we've watched here. 6-all. All locked up.
He was all over him. He actually did very well, the winger there. He laid down and let the ball fall into his arms, and then he put the ball down. Matty Prowse, to his credit, calling no touch. he seemed to be there, just had an air swing.
Well, we're getting set now for the drop-off procedure, but I tell you what a fantastic finish, Steve. Like, to the match in regulation, to claw back 6-4 down. We won't talk about the Aussie coaching box right now. It's all about the Kiwis right here. That is an accomplished performance in the face of some fire, but Australia will rue their chance to close it out.
Yeah,
They get another chance.
Talk about the commentator's curse, saying that they couldn't claw back, and they have.
Well, it's much to our delight, actually, to see New Zealand perform at this stage and really test the Aussies, but they're going to have to really dig deep again as Pete Norman threatens with Geordie Marshall-King to close out.
I think he's got the ball down there. Kim said no.
It's desperate defence from New Zealand.
Big call.
It's very good defence, though, in the end. Sean Law in the midst of all of that, but they do actually extract a penalty.
They've got it for a late pass. It's a big set of 6. Scott Buckley on the field now. He's a great defender, but as we've questioned his leg the whole game.
Pete Norman, do we get to see another penalty a la 5?
They've got some
2 minutes
easy
ago.
yards there. That's the second touch. New Zealand, well, that's a forward pass.
What a fantastic game. Pete Norman.
And again.
Pamatato.
Daniel,
Pamatato, fantastic. Diving,
great touch
desperate
by Daniel
defence.
Barton. Here it is. He's gone through. Oh, 6 again.
Wow.
He saved it. He saved a certain
Ash
try.
Robinson.
He had to do it, but there's a lot of pressure.
If there was a guy to claim out, to actually put a close to this match, none more fitting than Ash Robinson. He gets another chance here. It's great defence from Scott Buckley. Diving out of the line. That's some confidence, isn't it?
Yeah, helps the middles out a lot. Takes a lot of pressure off the middles by coming up and doing that.
Barton up in the line.
He's the skipper, New Zealand skipper, looking to seal the game for them.
Daniel Barton putting some pressure back on the attack, but Graham in the perfect space here. But Barton, as you quite rightly say, Steve, he's up to the task again. Another crack here for the captain. And there's...
They've done well.
First
Yeah,
set
I
of
didn't
the
want to
drop-off.
speak too soon. I've given them too many kisses of death. And Daniel Barton, that's a fantastic set of 6. To hold them out with 5 on the field, they've done very well. As some players look for a rest. Pete Norman coming off. Australia still need to get yards here. It's very important to get the yards. Even though you got the ball, you really need to get it up the other end to limit the chance that New Zealand, if they don't score, limit the chance that New Zealand have.
People might be unfamiliar with the drop-off procedure. Here we are, 4-on-4. We've dropped 2 players with 2 periods of 2 minutes elapsing, and it will go down to 3-on-3 if nothing changes in the scoreline shortly. Jordan Marshall-King, he takes off. They've only got to stay out wide, you would think. But Matt Prowse came in tight on his winger.
Yeah, I think he had a bit more time than he thought. As again, the players are getting very tired, and we've got Stewie on turn.
We've got Bundy, we've got Prowse, we've got Brighty, and we've got Francis on for Australia. And on we have Kavanagh. We've got Suter Finch, I think.
Ash Robinson, number 10 there.
Suter Finch, indeed, number 11.
And Mina Graham is on the wing.
Is this it? Ash Robinson's through.
Find your player. Oh, he's done well. He's
It's
got
very
the ball
good
anyway.
cover.
Good
Sean
work.
Francis, what great defence.
Great defence.
And cover it. Sorry, Steve, you go.
They've still got to get it up the other end, though. Nick did a good job at the end of the last set to get it up the other end.
Whilst Sean Francis did cover off very well, it was very good pressure applied by Scott Bundy inside him to push it out wide to the wing. Here goes Matt Prowse. He loves these situations.
Good work there, Matty Prowse. Got a
Nick,
pace,
good.
Matt.
What's our play 4-on-4? Have you practiced this at all, Steve?
I certainly haven't.
Well, Kieran Toner makes his way on now. You would think this could be an actual tactic of the coach
There's
to bring him on for a period, and it's down to 3-on-3. What a fantastic...
And then there were 3. There's the hooter. Good work by Stewie.
Okay, we've got these 3. Where do we go? Nick, good.
There's plenty of space. You just got to stay wide for Kieran Tony. He's got plenty of... He's done very
He
well.
might have wanted a faster winger out on his left there. Nick Good did all he could.
Number 13, Carlos Savage, doing a fantastic job.
Barton, Toner, and Prowse. And Duff. Savage. Savage makes his way off. And it's Pamatato. He's been Sorry, that's Lolasello.
Good touch there.
That's Pamatato. Kavanagh. Does he stand up in extra time here for the Kiwis?
Let's play on.
It's a very interesting call because it is play on. It's not play on. Mel Williams will call it back. It's an interesting call, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a bit of confusion about what was going on there. I actually think it was play on. He's had no control of the ball. It should be the Australian ball, but the referees don't see it that way. And Pete Norman is questioning, and rightly so.
The ball seemingly popped out of his hands straight
out
in
of his hands.
And what's happened now?
So he
must have been touched by the sounds of that call. And there you are.
He's dummy half, so he can't score. No, he's done
my
well.
goodness me.
A lot of tired legs out there. It's very
Sean
rare to
Law.
see it go this far into drop-off. You know, with the skill and the space that they have, it's very rare that we're going for this long, especially with 3-on-3. But there's a lot of tired legs.
Where are you in this case there, Captain Steve? You prefer to be in the interchange box and let your colleagues take over? Or is it just two wingers and a link that you would just throw out there and just run as hard and fast as they can?
I'm very much on the sideline. Father Time didn't grace me with speed. But so you've got the right men out there at the moment as they create some space. Geordie takes the dump.
Great defence.
That's very unselfish. And there it is.
Matt Prowse.
They've
What a
just
fitting
run
for
out as Geordie Marshall pumps his chest. Matty Prowse
My goodness.
hugs Nick.
What?
Oh, what a
He's literally off his feet, Matt Prowse. He might need to see a doctor himself.
The boys just ran out of legs. So number 5, Sean Law, make the touch and just head for the sideline. And just wasn't the time to make that change. And it was just a simple try in the end, just to give it to Matty Prowse, who seals the game.
What a match. I mean, that has to go down in Trans-Tasman folklore as one of the best ever. I mean, to get down to 3-on-3, New Zealand seemingly 3 great hot chances. Just somehow they must look at this and say, where the hell did that get away from us? They must have thought they had that win.
Yeah, they did a fantastic job to claw their way back, and they had plenty of opportunity to do it. 5-on-5, 4-on-4, and then the 3-on-3. And 3-on-3, how long? It must have been going for the 3-on-3 for a few minutes.
We don't have a clock here to record that many minutes, Steve. But wow, Australia closed it out. Can you hardly believe it? 7-6 in an incredible drop-off here at Sunshine Coast Stadium. My goodness, that's one for the true believers, Steve. What a great performance from New Zealand to get to that position. As we said, with a couple of minutes, we did, in fact, hope that it would draw level and get that sort of result, and it did. 6-4 out, a couple to play. What an incredible fight back. But, geez, Australia stood strong in the end. Bombed a few chances, though, seemingly in the end, too.
Yeah, no, it certainly brought the crowds back. You know, after seeing the mix and the women's, they both sort of ran away with it. But, you know, we mentioned before that New Zealand have a lot of up-and-coming players and young players, and that's certainly the case in this men's team. And to go for that period of time with an outfit as good as Australia is a credit to them. So they've done fantastic, and they can hold their heads high.
Well, it's got to be of some relief for the Aussie coaching contingent and players to close that out. I think there'd be an element of disbelief around the Australians of how they actually snatched defeat out of the jaws of victory.
You just saw Tony Trad rub what's remaining of his hair, and I think he would have lost a few more just at the end there. But I think there's certainly a lot of relieved boys as you look at the screen here and see them working out. See Dylan just roll his eyes just to say, phew, we've finally got there. But
well, I'm sure Coach Trad would love to see the replay of that game, and particularly those supportive comments from his ex-captain, Steve Roberts. He looks relieved, though, Steve. Like he's, 2-0 up, go into Sunday with a little less pressure on. But, I tell you what, it sets up a fantastic final day game. But, New Zealand, fantastic effort. It to a person, right across the park, everyone stood up and stood tall.
Yeah, they did a fantastic job, and a special mention to Cody Green on his debut. I thought he was fantastic. He really stood up, wearing the number 17, my beloved number 17. He did a fantastic job in it, and congratulations to him and to other boys. So Nick Good, a couple of classy touches when he needed to.
Well, we're about to cross down shortly with our captain, Nick Good, the Australian successful, victorious captain, Nick Good, sideline with Anthony Jennings.
Australian Men's Open captain Nick Good after a fantastic game of touch. Nick, how do you feel?
Yeah, I'm blowing a bit, but wow, like what a spectacle for touch football that was. Man, that's a credit to Roll and Mitter, two very experienced people and quality people off the field too, but their captain and coach went away yesterday, put together a game plan, and they were superb today. They really were. And yeah, that's the two best nations in the world at the top level.
Fantastic. And Nick, it went to a drop-off. Was there anyone you turned to in those situations in the clutch moments?
Yeah and no. We did do a lot of drop-off practice yesterday morning, so we were prepared for that. Although probably what we didn't take into account when we practiced was the fatigue levels. So that's something that we'll have to build on. We obviously can't do it before Test 3, but before next year and the World Cup, we'll need to build on that stuff. But in terms of drop-off, sort of big people stand up at big moments, and that's the sort of people we are, I guess.
And you've wrapped up the men's division along with the women and the mixed. How do you feel about that?
Feel really good, but that's only game 2, so we try and be really professional in what we do. So it's another test match tomorrow that we'll need to get a lot better at if we're to get in front and hopefully do a whitewash.
Thanks very much for your time.
No worries, mate. Thank you.
Hey. Meter, commiserations. That was a fantastic effort, a great spectacle of touch football. What were your thoughts?
Look, I couldn't be any more proud of my boys. Spoke a lot in the preparation of being a young team, an experienced team, 7 debutants, but you wouldn't, watching that game 40 minutes there or 45 minutes or whatever, you wouldn't think they're a bunch of 17, 18-year-olds, I credit my older boys, the leadership crew, for really driving the values, principles and structures of our coach. And, it's promising for the future. I know everyone hates us saying we're building for the World Cup, but, we were well and truly in the game there. And credit to Aussie boys, experienced, few 1%ers. They went their way, and, they're credit to their leadership and Goody there and their team. But, yeah, good game of touch, good game of touch footy, and that's why we play this game, is to have those close battles with our arch rivals. Yeah, it's good.
And in terms of development and an eye on the future, will you look to do anything different in tomorrow's match?
Oh, look, that's up to the coach. We'll debrief tonight, and he'll watch a bit of tape and pick, what he wants to prioritise for tomorrow. Like, don't get us wrong, yeah, the series gone, but every time we put the singlet on, it's to win. So, we will take a lot of confidence, a lot of self-belief from that game, and come back tomorrow ready to have another battle.
As I said, a great spectacle, and thanks very much for your time.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Pleasure.
That's a wrap from Sunshine Coast Stadium for day 2. Australia were victorious, taking a 6-0 unassailable lead in the Trans-Tasman series. Please join us from 10 a.m. tomorrow for more live streaming of the remaining matches.
Well, there we have it there. Steve Roberts, Tony Trad, once again, perhaps some post-match reprisals, but also a little bit of context, I think, for the boys. Just there's probably some relief, certainly, just the performance of New Zealand. But as Coach Trad will say, keep your heads up high for tomorrow and let's go again. But what exactly do you think is the message there, Steve?
I think obviously, as you said before, he's relieved. I think he'll be happy with the result. Not so happy with the performance. I don't think they were on the same level as they were last night. But they'll go away and look at them. They're happy. They're enjoying their win. The whole Aussie contingent will enjoy the series victories tonight. But they'll go away and they'll want the whitewash tomorrow. So it's going to be very important because they won't want to leave on that note, and they want to show what they're capable of, and really put to the sword the New Zealand team to sort of have them questioning whether or not they can match it with the Australian. Right now they can, and so that's where Coach Trad won't be happy. Yeah, it's a great insight, Steve. In fact, that's right. I mean, it's a daylight game tomorrow. You would think a harder, faster surface tomorrow with hopefully the sun shining. We should see one hell of a crackerjack match in the men's, as indeed we will with the mixed and the women's. And
at that junction, we will look to wrap up our coverage here tonight. We thank our live stream partners, My Sports Live, for the great pictures you see there tonight in Australia and New Zealand and around the world. It's our pleasure and privilege to be able to bring you this match, and what a way to finish a great day's entertainment, and 2 great days, it's fair to say, of fantastic touch football at the pinnacle, we say, the Trans-Tasman Trophy, and we see a very, very happy Australian contingent there. There's 3 divisions there that have won their series respectively, and the whole Australian team as a one team can actually be very, very proud. But they will be looking, and I'm sure they'll be applauding the New Zealand efforts deep.
Yeah, definitely. Look forward to seeing it all unravel tomorrow. There's not as much pressure, so we might see a bit more relaxed, free-flowing games tomorrow. So looking forward to seeing all the games tomorrow and seeing you, Julian, mate. It's been a pleasure being with you.
Well, I'm happy to be here with you again, Steve, and if you'd be happy to receive our call, we really thank you for you being with us here today at Sunshine Coast Stadium, and we'll close there as we look to start off with the mixed open again tomorrow, and then with the women's and men's to follow. Thank you for joining us, and it's good night from us here at Sunshine Coast Stadium.
You need a modern PC. Times change, life gets busy, and a modern PC has the juice to keep up. With up to 200% faster performance, it's ready when you are, with almost instant power up and resume. And all-day battery life gives you freedom to roam. Get inspired with touch. There's no limits with an Intel-powered modern PC, and it looks as good as it performs. It's the way we live, only better. Modern PC at Harvey Norman. Thinner, lighter, faster. Get yours now.
Welcome to the place where the sea is blue, the sand is gold, there ain't any clouds to cover the sky, where the birds fly up and down. Oh, there's a lot to like about this town.
Come to life on the Sunshine Coast. Visit sunshinecoast.com.